Let's try graphing the equation y equals negative 2x plus 1. Notice the equation for this line has been given in a slope-intercept format, so from this equation we need to recognize that negative 2 is the slope and that 1 is the y-intercept. We then start the graph by plotting the y-intercept point here at 0, 1. Then we will use the slope to get to more points on the line. When the slope is a whole number, like negative 2 in this case, we want to see the slope in an equivalent fraction format because the number in the numerator of the slope tells us how to rise, and the number in the denominator of the slope tells us how to run. So we will consider the slope to be negative 2 over positive 1, since negative 2 over positive 1 is equivalent to negative 2. The negative 2 number in the numerator of the slope says rise down 2 units, and the positive 1 number in the denominator of the slope says run right 1 unit. From the plotted y-intercept point, 0, 1, we need to rise down 2 units and run right 1 unit. When we make these moves, we land at another point on the line. In this case, we land at 1, negative 1. We can continue making this movement of rising down 2 and running to the right 1 to get to other points. If I continue, I land at 2, negative 3, then at 3, negative 5, then at 4, negative 7, and I won't go beyond this because I'd be moving out of my graphing window. Notice all the points I landed on the line were to the right and below my beginning y-intercept point. They're all over here to the right and below that point. If I want to map out some other points on the other side of this y-intercept point, I can think about the slope as positive 2 over negative 1. And this is okay because positive 2 over negative 1 is also an equivalent version of negative 2. Reading the slope as 2 over negative 1 says rise up 2 units and run to the left 1 unit. So from the y-intercept point, making the move of rising up 2 units and 1 unit to the left leads me to points negative 1, 3, negative 2, 5, and negative 3, 7. And I'll stop there as we now have plenty of points to graph the line in the entire viewing window.